Another 2:30 slot here on ESPN. We have North Carolina ranked 22nd in the country after they were, close to the top 10, losing 2 games in a row to Virginia and Georgia Tech, have climbed their way back into the top 25, traveling to Clemson. We all know about Clemson this year, 6-4, 3-4 in the ACC. Disappointing year for the Clemson Tigers. Clemson's a 7.5-point favorite over North Carolina, over under a 58.5, just like the Georgia game. Chase, let's hear from you first. You're North Carolina faithful and
Yeah.
hopeful here. What are your thoughts on this game?
Man, pulled out the Duke win by the hair on their chin. Go Tar Heels, go. You know what I'm saying? Tar Heels have played amazing this year. They still have a guy that's a Heisman level quarterback. I don't think he's going to end up winning it after the season that they've had as a team, but he's still a Heisman level quarterback. A great player in Drake May. And they're finding ways to still win, which is imperative at this point in the season. You're finding ways to keep in the ACC games, but Clemson, man, Clemson has played amazing. Let's just give him a shout out. After, Tyler from Spartansburg, whatever it's called, whoever it was, called Dabo and said, "Why are you getting paid the money you're getting paid?" We've now found out why. They've won against Notre Dame. They beat Georgia Tech both handedly. Georgia Tech's been a scrappy team all year. If you've watched our recent videos, Quinn's kind of hit on them a little bit. And the rest of Three Bold Takes has mentioned how Georgia Tech has played this season. They played well. And mind you, North Carolina lost to Georgia Tech. That's why we've talked about it. So, but Clemson's played amazing. They come out and just absolutely kind of turn their season around. Just a few weeks ago, we had some overreactions, even discussing that. Are they going to make a bowl game? And they will. And also, they're going to help that resume by beating North Carolina this week. I'm a Tar Heels fan, but I've got Clemson in this game. They're going to Happy Valley, or not Happy Valley, Death Valley at Clemson. They're playing on the road. North Carolina won by 2 points against Duke, lost to Georgia Tech. They've not looked great lately. Defense, non-existent. I don't even know why they trot 11 guys onto the field that says, "Hey, we're playing defense," because they do not play it at all. Riley Leonard is out, by the way. If you haven't been following Duke football, he's out. It's the backup quarterback, and Duke couldn't even muster up points just a few weeks ago with him in at the helm. So to give up 45 to them, North Carolina's defense has been bad. Clemson is on the other side of that. They're rolling like snowball down a 10,000-foot hill, and they're just going and getting bigger and better. I think they're going to end up having a really good end to the season, even though it wasn't a great start. I got Clemson in this game. Quinn?
Yeah, Chase, I'm glad that you got off the North Carolina train at least for this week because it would be a bad hill to die on. They're just in a downward trajectory right now. You
Right.
don't lose to Virginia and not be in a downward trajectory at the moment. Clemson, on the other hand, I was the first one on here talking about how they might at 4-4 with who they had left, especially with the Notre Dame and North Carolina games. I didn't think they'd have a shot. Now here we are. They beat Notre Dame, which was a huge win. And then it's not that Georgia Tech's good, it's that Georgia Tech is crazy. You don't know what you're going to get each week. They lost by double digits to Bowling Green, but they beat North Carolina. They avoided that team. They get through that, and now they get a home game, and they're hyped. I honestly think that Clemson will probably end the year 9-4. And people really kind of remember you for how you ended the year. So even though they had that rough 4-4, the thing that's going to stick in people's brain is the 5 wins late. I do not think that people should overbuild this and think that they're going to all of a sudden be back to Clemson of the late 2010s, because I think that era is past them. But I do think they're going to end up closing out. And I think they probably cover the spread, to be honest, and close out strong.
Right.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. You guys both laid out some great points here. North Carolina, by the way, is still in the hunt for the ACC championship game. Barring, if Louisville loses one game, then they're right there. So for what that's worth, I don't think it's going to happen. But for what that's worth, there's still something to play for if you're in a Tar Heel fan. I do think Clemson's still going to win this game, though. This over number, 58.5, I'd be inclined to take the over personally. I think even though Clemson's defense is decent. It's not what we're used to. It's definitely the better unit for Clemson. Like you said, Chase, North Carolina's defense, it's like they just put out 11 traffic cones and just, say, hey, play defense, and it doesn't work. So I'd be inclined to take the over, but give me Clemson to win the game and to cover the 7.5 as well.